Hello everyone. I know what you're thinking to yourselves. We're so used to seeing somebody else sit in that seat on the channel. Of course, the one and only Missy Jenn sharing her coin roll hunting with you. Well, it's the Rosie girl here today, and well, you might be seeing a little more of me on sharing things here on the Rancho, because besides Missy Jenn's love for coin roll hunting, you know what else she likes to do and I like to do is go metal detecting. That's one of the things that we love doing so much here on the Rancho, and we've been doing that since Jenn came here. Well, over 3 years ago now. So today I thought it might be nice to have you come in and look at some of the finds that I have found over the last 8 years. And yes, I've been metal detecting that long, 8 years, can you believe it? And in that time, I have really gotten some wonderful, wonderful pieces that I want to share with you. Now, wait a minute, don't say, oh, what's the best thing you ever found? Of course, there's going to be some suspense here as we lead up to the best item. So wait until the end when it will be revealed, because it is a barn burner, okay? Not only that, but I'm going to reveal the item that has the most sentimental and historical value to me, a really rare find. So I'll bring you into tableside and we will get the show on the road. Before we do that though, you may say, what kind of detector do you use? I have been using the White XLT detector for about 8 years now, and in that time I have found well over $3,000 worth of common change, which well paid for this machine 4 times over, and it is one great machine, and it has served me well, and it's never given me any problems in the field. Okay, I know you're eager now to see what the Rosie girl has found, so come on down tableside and let's take a look at it. Here we go, let's get on with the show. The first thing I want to say is I've found a lot of fairly decent coins too. They're not worth a heck of a lot, but some buffalo nickels, 2, 4, 6, 8, no particularly scarce dates, but some of these were in rather good condition. And I was very excited. Yeah, whenever you find something that's a little out of the ordinary, of course it's exciting. And I think my oldest one is about a 1929. And I was very excited to have that. So I did find quite a bit in the way of coins that had some collector value. And one of the things that I took years to find was an Indian head penny, believe it or not. And last year when Jenn and I were out hunting, I was lucky enough to score my first Indian head penny. And I'll bring you in, don't worry, at the end I'll bring you in to show all the treasures. I'll give you a close-up here today. But I was very lucky to find this 1906 Indian head penny. So that was like one of the coolest things I've found. Now you may say, Rosie girl, what have you found on your own property there? And I'd like to share this with you today, because I just knew since this house was built in 1956 that there had to be some older things there. And yes, I did find a 1964 Kennedy silver dollar. Yes, I did, and I was very glad to have that. You can always tell the sound of silver. And there we go. And interestingly enough, I also found 2 very big, they're very dark, but 2 very big Australian pennies. And one is from 1952, and I'm not quite sure what the date is on the other one, but I was very excited to find actually something of decent value on the property here, which was kind of exciting. So, foreign coins, yes. Over the years, I've found many foreign coins. I have there's a local Sons of Norway lodge here, and that of course is a fraternal organization for those of Norwegian descent. A lot of Canadian stuff, and of course the $1 coins Canadians, and the the 5-cent pieces, and one from actually from 1948, a 5-cent Canadian piece, which I thought was pretty cool. And in addition, some other British coins of the realm too, as well as a 10-franc piece from France, which I thought was pretty cool. And don't worry, I'll be bringing you in to take a really closer look at these really interesting finds here. Now you may ask about the silver, and yes, I have found quite a bit of silver, as you can see here. And probably my favorite one, and one that has a little value to it, is a 1927D Walking Liberty $50. And I actually have found 3 of those beautiful big Walking Liberty $50, and these are just beautiful. They're one of the most beautiful coins ever made. I also was lucky enough to find a 1928D Standing Liberty quarter, which is actually my favorite coin series of all. Very rare. And of course I've found a lot of the Mercury dimes. And again, don't worry, I will bring you down to see everything on the table. At the end, I'll give you one last view. There's a beautiful 1928 Mercury dimes, and a nice 1935D quarter too. So all nice and silver, and quite a few Roosevelts too. So always nice when you pull silver out of the ground, huh? Now what about jewelry? I've really found rings, rings, and some of them are very gaudy, like big rings with turquoise and silver. And this thing is just huge here. This ring, and lots of silver. I found a couple little gold rings too. I've been lucky enough to find them. And one with a beautiful little amethyst set in it. Really a nice little, like a piece of heirloom jewelry there. You can see how pretty that is. So lots of rings. Here's another very unusual turquoise ring in onyx here. Lots of rings, as well as little jewelry pieces. So you also tend to get some religious, little religious medals and things. So yes, a lot of rings, and this isn't everything, just the rings that I thought were worthy of showing you guys today. Now you're saying, Rosie, get to the good stuff. Okay, here we go. The unusual items that I have found, and some of the more valuable items that cleaned up nicely here. And this would be some of the more unusual items that I found. This looks to be a cigarette holder from the 1920s. And when I come in for a close-up at the end, you're going to be surprised how ornate that is. And that's the way people would use cigarette holders back then. I have found many crucifixes while digging, people that have them. And I was lucky enough to get a piece of 18-karat little necklace here, little pendant that hangs on a chain. And it's like a really old-fashioned charm, like you would find on a charm bracelet. And you're going to really be excited when you see these close up at the end. And a really nice, beautiful, very fine sterling silver, very finely made little necklace there. So, all right, so let's get to it. Rosie, stop dilly-dallying. Show me the thing that has the most sentimental value to you. And this one is very unusual. This one, and I don't know if you can see, it has a slight bit of enameling still left on it, and the story is very unusual. In 1915, in San Francisco, they had what was called the Panama Pacific Exhibition. And at that time, if you bought a ticket to get in, they would give you a ribbon, a red, white, and blue ribbon with one of these medallions. One of these copper medallions with the enamel finish coloration on it as one of the, as something to prove that you were a paid person coming in. So now, in the 1915 exhibition, Thomas Edison and Henry Ford came to town, and they were very good friends with a famous local person in Santa Rosa known as the Plant Wizard. Of course, that would be Luther Burbank. And Luther Burbank was so famous for developing new varieties of flowers and fruits and things that he was so well known at that time that they decided, Thomas Edison and Henry Ford decided to journey up to Santa Rosa from San Francisco, about 50 miles north, to visit Thomas Edison. And actually, in touring, one of the people must have lost their medallion on the ribbon. Probably the whole thing fell off, and of course the ribbon disintegrated, but it left this really cool keepsake here. And it says 1915 on it, San Francisco. When I bring it in closer at the end, you'll be able to see it. It's really cool. You have to take a look at that. Okay? All right. What's the coolest thing? Well, one day when I was at coin shooting at a college, I was lucky enough to find an 18-karat gold chain. And I mean, it is a big one. And it also came on the end of it with a gold crucifix there. And look at how beautiful that is. And today, with the weight of this, and this weighs a good half ounce, and the cross itself, and of course I would never get rid of it because of the sentimental value to me. But this has been appraised at about $800 for this, and I just think it's an absolutely gorgeous pieces. And it's really something. Okay, so hang with me at the end. I'm going to change up the camera, and I'm going to let you have a good pan close-up of all of the treasures. Thank you all for being with me today as I shared my first treasures here on the Rancho with you on the Jenn and Rosie Reality TV channel, and I hope that you enjoyed it. This represents 8 of the most, well, fun-filled years of my life out metal detecting. And although we don't get a chance to go out that much anymore, we always have a great time when we do go out, and we always find things to be back. You can check out more metal detecting on the Rosie O'Kelly channel. I'll put the link in the description box down below. And it's always a wonderful experience to be outside and enjoying the fresh air and maybe having a chance to find some treasures too. Hey, if you liked the video, please hit the share button, and as usual, comment, rate, and subscribe. And both Jen and I thank you so much for being a part of Jenn and Rosie Reality TV and the Rosie O'Kelly channel. Thanks again.